Hello, everyone. Raymond Mhor, Kilted Prepper. How's everybody doing today? We are live. So let's see. I'm going to give folks a couple moments here to come in here and jump on in. Let me get some notes. Wanted to get some notes here and running a tad behind. So I wanted to make sure that I'm covering everything for you. Got a lot to talk about tonight, folks. The big comment or the big thing is, what do you do when you run out of food, or basically when your pantry runs out of food and or is running low? And so that's the big thing that we're going to be discussing tonight. So I've got a lot of information to throw at you in this hour, and if we go over, no biggie. So, but how many here? We got 5 people in the room so far. How am I sounding? Everybody can hear me? Is it okay? Sometimes I don't know. you know, you know how YouTube is. Sometimes your sound works, sometimes it doesn't. So I have had problems like that in the past. Cynthia's here. Debbie's here. Electronic Survival is here. Too cool, guys.
Sounds good.
So sounds good. But I just want to take a moment here and welcome everybody to the show here. And just want to really thank all you returning subscribers and the wonderful community that we're building here. This is such a great thing. I'm really enjoying these Saturday nights. Last Saturday was a blast. I mean, a lot of fun, a lot of good stuff. And in fact, I got a lot of email questions from y'all this week. And I was trying to really quickly respond to them and help folks out and everything. So if you have sent me emails, or if you got questions, again, send me an email and I'll be glad to answer it for you and help you out any way I can. To all the new folks who are hanging out with us tonight, I just want to again welcome you and sit back, get a cup of coffee or a Coke or something like that. And do me a favor, take some time to like, subscribe, and share, and then ring that little bell so that you get notified when I post new videos. So a lot of good stuff, and we're slowly growing the channel, slowly growing our community. I'm super excited, and so a lot of things are going on. I've got some special things going on. Let's see here. Uh, I got all my stack of stuff. I am going to be showing you guys how to get this. And this is my quick start guide that I wrote. And then I've got some other books that I wrote. This is the Poor Man's Guide, and all these are available on Amazon. But what I'm going to do is do a special offer on this for all my Kilted Prepper insiders, KP insiders. And I'll be sending this out, and I'll put a link in the newsletter that I send out on Wednesdays. And what I'll be doing is also adding some pretty cool stuff to this, some really cool, little gear and everything like that to anybody who orders that book. But it's a quick start guide, and it's not your normal old everyday stuff. I really go into some details, give you some really great food plans, food buying plans, and everything. And then also, my latest book is Weaponized. And this is a great book, When a Gun is Not the Answer. And so I talk a lot about home security, what you can do, how you can handle it. And again, all these books are available on Amazon, but I'll be creating links for my KP Insiders so that they can get autographed copies, as well as I like throwing a lot of some other stuff in there too. So I'll be glad to throw some other gear and some other cool things in there if anybody orders these books. But look for these books to be out there in the Wednesday email. And so good stuff, a lot of fun. And so let's see here. Hey, Seabolt, how you doing, bud? So let's get kind of rolling here. Today's topic is what's going to happen when your pantry starts running low, or if your pantry runs out. Like it or not, if we are in a zombie apocalypse or SHTF situation, our pantries might start running low. And so what do you do? Obviously, the grocery stores are probably not going to be as stocked, or if that all open, or anything like that. Or so, what are you going to do to start augmenting your pantry? And the thing is that you want to start now, so that you can kind of get a jump on this, and so you know what to do. Be prepared for it. You're going to be practiced up, and that's the big thing, is being practiced up on basically living like our great grandparents did out in the boonies. And so there's a it's really true hardcore homesteading and being truly self-sufficient. And so these are the things that I'd like to talk to about. But first and foremost, probably the biggest thing is plant a garden. And this is something that we're going to be doing here. We were supposed to start yesterday, but there was a massive storm, and I'm sure some of you got hit by that storm as well. The winds were horrible. I was watching on the news, there was just tons of tornado watches and everything, but it was raining and storming like crazy, and so the yard was just a muddy mess, and so just wouldn't be able to do anything at all. And so it's you know not doing it yet, but the plan is this Wednesday. So as we start working on the garden, what I want to do is start taking pictures and videos and everything, keep you guys up to what we're doing so that you can see, and I can try to be the best example possible on what we're doing for our family and things. But the biggest thing that you can do in when your pantry starts running low is start a garden. And I stress start now, because it takes a couple of years to really get that green thumb going. And you're not just going to, plant some seeds and have Garden Beautiful pop up that summer or spring and everything. And there's a lot of learning. And best place to go is YouTube University. So watch all those YouTube videos. And I mean, that's what I do on a lot of them. But probably the biggest thing that I have done is joined a website called Grow Veg. Now, I do not make any money off of this. I'm not an affiliate. I just love this program. I just love this website. And in fact, today I got an email reminder of what I need to be planting, what I need to be doing, and everything. And the costs, they've actually gone up a little bit, but it's now $50 a year, and it's just totally worth it, because one, you're able to totally lay out your garden. I mean, check this out. This is kind of my garden setup for this year, and it's not complete, but kind of gives me an idea of where I maybe want to put things or do things. But you can move your plants around. What's wonderful about this is you can see it automatically does spacing for you. And I mean, it just does all kinds of things. And you can also set it up for 1 foot garden as well as covered gardens. So if you want to do greenhouse gardening or so forth, it will do that. So basically, also gardening during the winter, or doing winter sowing, or whatever. But Grow Veg is a great website. I highly recommend it. And it's a site that I love. I've been using it for several years now. And so I just pay the continuation, which is, I want to say, is like $30 or $35 a year to continue it and everything. But what is wonderful is I get these email reminders. And if you're like me and you got a busy life and you're doing all this other stuff and everything like that, getting these reminders of what to put in the ground, what to start doing, when to start harvesting, start looking for this, start looking for that. And then on top of that, their library knowledge is wonderful. You can look things up on the website. There's just tons of information. You can journal, and this is something that is really good, especially if you're starting out. Hey, I planted these beans and they didn't do so well, or hey, I did this. So what you do is, as you journal, you can start remembering of what you did, how you did it, and everything. And then also they have some really great videos. And the gentleman who runs it and everything, he's over in England, and so has a lot of really great videos and just really simple how-tos. And he goes into really good depth, and without being so over your head that what the heck. But super, super great stuff. I love this website. And like I said, I'm using it like crazy. And what's wonderful is that, as you can see, I've got all these veggies out here. Well, I have another list of veggies all right here so that they're on my screen. And by having it that way the garden emails or the garden planner emails that come to me tell me, oh, hey, you need to start getting in your broccoli now. It's, late fall. Get your broccoli in, get your Brussels sprouts in. So it reminds you of all these things that you need to do. But as long as they're on the board, you will get reminders of when to plant, when to harvest, maybe supplemental feeding or fertilizing or, this and that. But I've been really super impressed with all the emails that I get because, again, I forget, I guess I'm getting up there in the years and, but Grow Veg is just wonderful. Now, some of I'm a big heirloom person. I can't say that I like big box seed stores or big box store seeds. And, I hate to use some names, but like Burpee and some of these others, a lot of these are GMO seeds, very few are heirlooms. And I know Burpee does offer heirlooms and stuff, but I would rather buy from a small company who really focuses on heirlooms and not just all these others besides heirlooms and stuff. So the company that I really love, and I've been using their seeds for several years now, is called Oregano Republic. And this is their summer seeds. So as you can see, I've already got my summer seeds, pack going here. But these are all heirloom seeds. They give you 25 different varieties and things. And then they have all these other different, they have lettuces, they have here's some for beets. They got you some unique beets. Here's another one for unique onions and everything. And so pretty much almost anything that you want to plant, they've got. They've got the spring 25 spring garden mix, the 25 summer garden mix, the 25 fall or winter garden mix, as well as all these different other bundles of herbs or bundles of lettuces or, again, bundles of onions or so forth and so on. But the germination on these seeds have been great. And so Oregano Republic, you can get them on Amazon. I totally, stand behind them and everything. I have been so pleased with the germination factor. Now, if you want to know your germination rate, what you can do is take several seeds out. You might take an even number. 6 is a good number. And you wet a paper towel, put 6 seeds on there, and then fold it in half, so it's nice and wet and everything. Put it in a Ziploc bag and throw it on your window sill and see what germinates. And you'll kind of get a germination percentage that way, and you'll know how well your seeds are going to perform and everything. And when I've done that in the past, all of them have always germinated. And so very good germination on Oregano Republic. Go to their comments and you can see a lot of people are super pleased with their comments and everything. So the seeds are super, super good. So, but planting a garden is your number one thing that you can do. And what I highly recommend you doing is just ripping up that backyard. And I know a lot of people love their beautiful green lawns and all this other stuff, but folks, your family can't eat grass. So rip up that lawn and plant a serious garden, especially with the high price of food these days. I just posted an article on my Facebook wall a couple days ago about the UK price of food inflation is way up above 17%, which means you probably double that number. Here in America, the food inflation rate is 10.1 or 10.4. And again, double that number because these are the state sponsored numbers, and they always kind of aim low. So, but in reality, that's the truth. But with the high prices, inflation, supply chain issues, all that other stuff, this from March on to about July, I think we're going to have a rather rough period because of the whole grain issues. We did not produce enough carryover from last year. So a lot of our grains and everything did not carry over, as well as a lot of the crops. I know, for example, tomato crops, the harvest was horrible. Carrots were horrible. Corn was horrible. I mean, there's a whole list. And if, on my website, there's an article that I list all the foods that, you know, just didn't do well last year. And so anything that we're eating this year is from last year's, harvest and stuff. So, but because we didn't have enough carryover, that means between March to June, July, when things start coming off the vine, then things will start picking up. But the reason I'm saying March is because those were the numbers that the USDA gave, or the Department of Agriculture gave, saying that that's when we're going to run out of our carryover. And so normally our carryover will take us into June or July. But this last year's carryover was pittance. We only got about 3 months of carryover. And so March is when basically the carryover ends. Now, another thing too that's interesting, is affecting a lot of families, is on March 1st, a lot of people's SNAP or EBT cards or food stamps ran out. They lost about 2/3 of their money because of the special COVID money that they were getting and everything. Well, that got yanked March 1st. And so a lot of people's pantries may be running out already. So, um, but these are things or reasons why you want to start thinking about planting a garden now, and getting that ground ready and everything. That's what we're doing here at the Mhor home. We're getting our things set up. In fact, I just had a delivery of dirt sent to me so that I can get some dirt going and stuff. But another thing, and this is something for a lot of you city dwellers or something like that, and this is something that all of us can think about, is forest gardening. Start thinking about how you can forest garden. And a really good book, I've shown you this book before, but Farming the Woods, excellent, excellent book. I highly, highly recommend it. And but it talks about really learning how to farm in the forest, and or what I'm calling secret gardens, or survival secret gardens, or survival prepper gardens. But if you're in areas that you can't, really planting, if you live in an apartment or duplex or some small sort of area where you don't have a garden space, then maybe try to find some fields or find some way out locales or something like that, and maybe start setting up a secret garden. So if the powers that be ever come and confiscate your food and everything, like the little tinfoil hat people talk about and everything, at least you have a food source also growing wild. And a lot of these gardens are fire and forget. And so veggies and stuff that you can think of, if you're doing some of these wild gardens or these secret gardens, is potatoes, peanuts, turnips, rutabagas, parsnips, carrots, radishes, beets, onions, garlic. I know that where we live, we have a lot of deer, so there's certain plants that we can't plant because they're not deer resistant. The deer will eat them up. But there's a lot of veggies and everything that the deer won't bother. And so, for example, there's an area in our neck of the woods here next to our house that is rather sunny, gets a nice bit of sun, gets a nice bit of rain and everything, but is not just completely total sun or anything. So I'm really considering digging that area up and planting a bunch of garlic, planting lots of onions and everything. And I was doing some research thinking, will deer eat potato plants? And I was in my research, yeah, they will. So I can't do the potatoes out there, but there's a lot of things that you can plant out in a secret garden that is, deer resistant and everything. Another thing to think about is start saving your apple seeds, pear seeds, plum seeds, peach seeds, all these other seeds, and just finding these areas and plant some seeds. And again, I saved a lot of seeds this year, so I'm going to experiment with growing some pears and apples and so forth, but also berries. And I like, blackberries, raspberries, and so forth. Things with thorns. And I was kind of thinking about that. If you're going to do a secret garden, why not plant a perimeter of berries so that the berries kind of act as a fence in a sense, and will kind of protect the garden, and then also, keep things away, and so forth. But fruit trees, berry bushes, and everything is a really good idea to think about. And again, start planting maybe a secret garden, or if you're, next to the woods, you have some property or something, plant a garden off in another area, and really look into maybe forest gardening. And then uh, things that really work well in forest gardening that I'm going to be experimenting with this year is hen of the woods, maybe some shiitake, maybe some oyster mushrooms, and so forth. But fungus right now, and I'm really thinking about start trucking around to my property and everything and seeing if we can start finding some morels. But morels grow here, and now we're coming into the morel season. So I want to see if maybe I can find some morels. And if I don't, then maybe what I might do is see if I can get some morel spores and start finding some good areas of where morels might grow, and then kind of seed those areas for next year so that I can get some morels going. Morels also, if you have the ability to grow them, or if you have your secret spot, which a lot of people in this area, oh, I've got my secret morel spot. Morels go for quite a penny, and people will buy them and everything. So they make a great barter item. Well, something that you can do is if you get a nice harvest of morels, dehydrate them, and you've got some dehydrated morels that you can possibly use for barter and trade. And then the other ones that I'm also, I know the German word Pfefferling, but I can't. What is those orange mushrooms? Oh my, they're orange. They're like the most expensive mushroom that you can get out there. Yeah, chanterelles. And so chanterelles grow around here as well. So I'm looking at maybe, sporing up some chanterelle areas and growing some chanterelles. But chanterelles are another one that you could grow, have a secret garden, or just grow on your own and everything. Dehydrate them, and then also you can use those for barter. People are always, food is going to be a great barter item. And so if you have a dehydrator, which I highly, highly recommend, there's a lot of things that you could dehydrate and use these things for barter if and when your pantry starts running low and you really haven't broken into your barter stuff. But barter, eggs for this, gallon milk for that, or cheese for this, or so forth, whatever you want to barter. But really look into forest gardening period, forest gardening, and then also secret gardening, and really think about doing some of this. Because again, you as city dwellers, I mean, there's always these fields, there's always these areas and everything. Nobody ever goes there or anything. And so till up some land, or just plant some seeds, and just see what comes up, and know that just fire and forget in a sense. But secret gardens are going to be becoming more popular, and again, especially for the city dwelling areas, and so forth. So another thing is foraging. And this is something I'm still learning for our area. We just moved here a year ago, and so I'm still learning the flora and fauna of our local area. But a really good author is Samuel Thayer, and Incredible Wild Edibles is a really good book. He makes a spiral book as well, and I forget what the title of that one was. But what you want to do is, here, hold on, get my other notes, because I have that here. Um, yeah, Forager's Harvest by Samuel Thayer. And this is a spiral bound. And I love spiral bound books because they lay flat. They're really good like that. But really start learning the flora and fauna of your area now, and then maybe even start incorporated into your diet now, so that when and if your pantry starts running low, you start running out of food or anything, you already know the wild edibles of your area, and you can start harvesting those, and stuff. So, for example, dandelions are like they grow like well, they grow like weeds because they are, but we do have a lot of dandelions, and so one of the things that I'm going to do this year is start experimenting with the dandelion flowers and the dandelion leaves and so forth, and start either dehydrating them or using them in salads and stuff. Because heck, you go to Kroger's or something and get some of this wild green mix, and they want $6 or $7 for it, and it's got a bunch of dandelions and some other things and stuff. Man, again, these are things that you can possibly barter with or trade with. Is hey, I got a bag full of dandelion leaves. Can you give me a dozen tomatoes? And so these are ways that you can again start leveraging these food items now so that when the zombie apocalypse happens or the SHTF situation takes place or something, you're not behind the curve or learning curve. This way, you're up on top of it. You know what's going on, you know which grows, when it grows, where it grows, and then you're able to take advantage of these things. So, dry mouth, excuse me. But so we've talked about primarily gardening, forest gardening, survival garden, or secret gardens and stuff. What I really now want to talk to you about is hunting and fishing. This is another way. You need your protein. And it's rather interesting. My wife and I we watch Naked and Afraid. We love Naked and Afraid, and it's a great show. But one of the things that's really interesting, that's really just kind of hit me, is that, foraging for your food, if you don't know the area, is really tough. And then hunting, you hear all these people out there. I'm just going to bug out in the woods and hunt. Dude, you're going to go out in the woods and starve, unless you really know the area and you know what's there and you know the animal life and what's going on. And then also the human presence, if you're in an area that's a true wilderness and things that you've bugged out to, as soon as you become somewhat established in that area, the animal life is going to just go away. And this is something that we see a lot on Naked and Afraid. These people are there for 10, 15 days, before they do extraction. And, there's no animals anywhere because one, either they've eaten them all, and these are just like two people, or the animals have already gone away because they got humans around. And so a lot of these people thinking that they can just go out to the woods on their own and do all this. I mean, watch Naked and Afraid. I know this sounds really hokey and everything like that, but there are some really great life lessons there that you can learn. Hunting, fishing, and foraging in unknown areas, you know, you're basically going to start starving to death because these people do. And so it's important that if you are going to bug out, or so you know the area, you live there, you know the everything. You just really need to know it so that you can know the animal patterns, what plants grow there, and so forth and so on, and then really start taking advantage of it. But hunting and fishing is something that I really highly recommend that you start doing now, so that you've got this practice in and that you know what's going on and everything. Start finding areas that you can fish in. And so, do you have, like in the city, a lot of cities have these tributaries, and a lot of times in these tributaries have fish. I remember I used to fish in some of these tributaries. I used to fish largemouth bass in these city tributaries, and nobody knew that they were there. And yet here's all these bass and everything. Got some great, bass hooks and stuff. But tributaries, streams, there's streams everywhere, and you can find crawdads, you can find freshwater clams, you can find fish and everything, and then again lakes and rivers as well. But again, a lot of people are going to be, in SHTF or zombie apocalypse. A lot of people are going to be, leveraging a lot of these more popular areas like lakes and rivers. And so this is why I say start scoping out your little streams, start scoping out your local tributaries and your runoff areas and so forth, so that what's there, what's going on there. And then, if anything, maybe start augmenting some of these areas so that, maybe you found a stream. What you can do is kind of dam it up a little bit, throw some rocks and everything so it kind of forms a pool. And so, there's a deep spot here. This is a deep spot that, fish may hang out, crawdads may hang out, and so forth. And so, by doing these things now, you're basically planning your food sources for later times. Um, Want to share some cool things here. This and again, I'm really thinking about city folks, suburban folks, and everything, but this is something that I love, and it's funky. Yeah, I know. It's like, oh yeah, the Ronco Pocket Fisherman, but buddy, this thing works. I've got like 4 or 5 of these puppies, but it's super simple. Let's see if we're gonna get this thing unhooked here, but super simple. And oh gosh, come on. They got this. But this is great. I have used this like crazy. This is my new one for my bug out bag, so that's why it looks all good and gorgeous and stuff. But you've got a great little pocket fisherman. You got a hook to hook on your belt loop here. This opens up so you can put your fishing tackle and everything like that. But it folds up. Come on, come on. There, folds up, and it just does great. But the pocket fisherman is something you can stick in your bug out bag and so forth. But it's just something that if you're looking to go around and be kind of covert, I mean, this will stick under a coat. You can strap it, hook it to your belt or something, not draw attention to yourself or anything like that. And you have a little fishing buddy. These things work. As funky and hokey as it seems, these are great for little rivers, little streams, tributaries, and so forth, and they catch fish. Now, the one that I have out in the garage, I have actually some braided line on that. If you're going to use these and everything, I highly suggest pull off the line and put on some good braided line, because you're fishing for survival. You're not fishing for support, for sport. There is no sport in survival hunting and fishing. And so I hear some of these people, oh, that's not sporting. That's not this. And screw it. This is for my family. And so you want to, do this. Another thing here, and this is my fishing kit, but this is a collapsible rod and reel. Pardon? No, this is I have the double kit in my links, but this is a collapsible rod, and got a decent reel here and things, and you have all your little goodies and so forth. But I love this kit, and it is a great thing. Small, easy to use, easy to carry around, easy to transport. But this is another great kit. Now, Cynthia is putting a link up there of a double kit, and this reason I show this one is because you got 2 fishing poles, and so either you can put out two lines at once, or if someone is with you, they can go fishing along with you and everything. But they're small, they're compact, and again, a lot of the areas that you're going to maybe be fishing in is going to be kind of close quarters, and so these short kits or these small kits, the pocket fisherman, real small. This is real small. You're not really wanting to cast it way the heck out there into the ocean or the lake or anything like that. You just, it's close quarters fishing, and so that's what you need. And so I love these. They're great. And again, this one that I use, so it's all beat up and everything, but I use it all the time. And this is what I love. We've got a little stream here, and some of the things I'm talking about are some of the things that we're going to actually be doing to our stream. I'm going to start damming up an area so that we get a nice deep spot and start attracting fish there. start attracting other wildlife and everything, so that I've got a little mini fishing hole and so forth. And again, on Naked and Afraid, you see some of these folks. I mean, what they're doing is eating like mosquito fish or the guppies or whatever you want to call them. And again, this is protein. And by putting these things into effect now, you will have everything basically set up for you already. And so even if the zombie apocalypse doesn't take place or anything like that, you can go to these areas and still harvest protein, harvest your fruits and vegetables and things, and do it. And so these are truly realistic ideas that you can do to ensure that you and your family are eating and so forth. My next thing, and I have to show boxes, because if I show real things, aka poo pews or something like that, then YouTube doesn't like it and all that. But the one thing that you want to start thinking about, and I'm really talking to the urban folks and suburban folks, is start thinking about bringing protein home. So not only can you bring protein home in fishing and so forth, but covert hunting. And with covert hunting, there's things like rabbits, squirrels, like it or not, rats. I mean, a lot of people, live off of rats and everything. And again, this one's going to be touchy, but feral dogs and cats, So these are protein sources that if we're in a zombie apocalypse or something like that, this is realistic protein. And again, I go back to, Naked and Afraid and seeing what these guys are doing. Unless you're Matt Wright, who is the great hunter of Naked and Afraid, these guys, all they do is snake, rats, little mice, and everything like that, and grasshoppers and so forth. But a great weapon to have, and I love this. This is great for tactical. I mean, for city urban hunting. And this is the Crossman Classic, and it is a pump. This one is 177, and then they also make them in 22. But they also have several versions that you can get a stock with. And in fact, I believe, what is it called? Drifter kit. The drifter kit is actually, it comes in a bag so that it's very covert. You can put the stock on one side, the handgun or the pellet gun on the other side, and all your other gear and everything, and just carry it around in a nice little case very covertly and everything. But because if you're in the city and you need to get protein and so forth, then you're not going to be wanting to be dragging around some big old rifle or anything like that. You're going to be very covert. And so this is why I really like this, the Crossman American Classic. And in fact, here on the back side, you can see what it looks like with the stock. And it's very easy to put on, very easy to take off. It's one screw, pull it off, put it on, screw it on, boom, you got a stock. But what's nice about this is a pellet gun that you can hide under your jacket, or maybe keep in a backpack or something, and then do covert city urban hunting, and people not freaking out, because it's an air gun. It's going to be quiet. I highly recommend the 22 over the 177, because if you do 10 pumps on this thing and shoot a 177, it might break the sound barrier. And if it breaks the sound barrier, you're going to have a crack. And so the 22 version, if you pump it up, does not break the sound barrier. And so, thus you won't have that crack when you shoot. You'll just start. So look into those. They are kind of on the pricey side. The drifter kit is $119, and then the just getting the stock by itself is $105. But if you just want to get the handgun or the pistol by itself, it's $59. If you just want to get this right here, $59, $59 in a 177. And so, but again, if you're using 177, be careful that you don't break the sound barrier. So, But really good covert systems that you can use, and I really like it for the urbanite or suburbanite in acquiring protein. Now, if you're kind of out in a little bit of area and everything, then what I have, and I love, and again, I'm showing boxes here, is, let's see if I can back up here. Gamo Swarm. This is by Gamo. It is a uh, tin pellet. It has a little revolving thing, and this is the 3X. And so the 3X, when the first version came out, they were really having problems with this magazine. They fixed these problems. It doesn't drop pellets. The pellets don't move or anything. You cock this, it automatically loads. It's great, but you can have 10 rounds automatically. Or if you don't want to use this, you can cock it and just manually feed a pellet in and everything. But this is got whisper technology and everything, and it is pretty quiet. In fact, here's the magazine that you can see here. And what's great is you can get extra magazines, and they will go underneath the buttstock here. So you can get a couple extra magazines. The scope sucks. So you're going to need a different scope. The scope that they give you sucks. It doesn't hold true. It isn't worth it. In one of my articles, I got the scope that I have, and I forget the name of it and everything. And I can't show it because, YouTube doesn't like to see weapons on live cam and everything like that. But this is probably the best pellet gun out there. Super quiet and super powerful. This is in 22, and again, with 22, you're not going to break the sound barrier, so you're not going to get that crack sound or anything. Where at the 177, you will get that. And so the whole key of using air guns is that it's quiet, and so you don't want to be shooting anything loud, drawing attention to yourself or anything. So I'm very big on air guns. Yeah.
Electronic Survival says his daughter has a pink pellet gun.
Mm-hmm.
It came with a built-in suppressor.
Uh-huh.
Wouldn't that be cute?
Yeah, that's cool. Get some.
So the RWS makes a good pellet gun.
Cool. So do me a favor.
Electronic Survival.
Yeah, Electronic Survival, do me a favor. If you have a link to that, share the link so people can see it. And so, yeah, definitely for the daughter's gun. I'm very interested for that, for our daughter. But you want to keep covert. You want to keep quiet. And yet you want to put protein on your family's table. And during a zombie apocalypse or something like that, you're really not going to be being able to be a beggars and choosers. Now, something else. With this, they make 22 pellet darts. And with this, you could bring down a deer. And so if you do a proper shot placement right in the ear or right in the temple or something of a deer, you will drop a deer with one of these. Now, it is against the law. You can't do that, blah, 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 blah. But in a zombie apocalypse, all that goes out the window. But I suggest getting some darts, and then that way you're able to even bring down bigger game. Now, would this bring down a boar? I don't know. It would bring down a large dog, definitely. If you're even with the 22 pellet or a dart. Some of the other larger game out there, coyotes. A lot of people use these to shoot coyotes, and in fact, I did see a hunter use one of these to do shoot boar. So yeah, this will take down a boar as well. So, but it's a great gun. It's very pricey. It's $299, but it is well worth it. And then it's just a lot of fun to shoot. A lot of fun. And then yeah. Mm-hmm. And that was my next thing, is talking about traps and everything. And again, because we watch Naked and Afraid, and a lot of these people use traps and so forth. But the key with traps is really learning your animals. And this is why a lot of these people, these bug out, ideas and everything, they're going to just go off to some area and everything. They're going to starve. You've got to learn your animals. You've got to learn their patterns and everything, so that if you are trapping or stuff, where you can put the traps, what sort of traps that will work, what sort of traps will not work. and so forth. If you're just looking for mice, like a lot of these guys on and Naked and Afraid, the deadfall trap will do great. But some of these snares and everything like that, maybe not. Now, if you do live in hog area, then yeah, snare hogs like crazy, but you got to get the snare wire and stuff. But trapping is a great way to acquire food and everything. But the key to trapping and key to hunting is knowing your area and knowing how the animals go and what's there and everything. Something that we do here on our property is that we're always, I'm taking care of our animals because these animals someday might feed us. So, pardon?
The wild animals.
The wild animals, yes.
Yes, too.
So my wife's over there, and so but we have a lot of squirrel on the property. We have oh gosh, hedgehog, not hedgehog, groundhog. Now, groundhog is funky because it's got a lot of glands. So when you're cleaning it, you really got to get all those glands out. But groundhog is pretty large, nice, meaty. Again, we have deer, we have other. I think we even got a mountain lion across the street. My neighbor keeps showing us. We got bear and things. So we have some decent animals here, but we do work hard at taking care of the animals that may feed us someday. And I'm always, getting bird seed and stuff. And then I have feeding stations in the areas and stuff so that our deer are being taken care of. And they keep coming back knowing that our property is a safe space and because that's what you want is, because again, these animals may feed us in a time of trouble and everything. And so by letting them know that this is a safe space and they're being fed and being taken care of, we have in the middle of our driveway, we have this big green spot, and we've seeded that with deer seed. I mean, deer, all the different deer feeds and greens and everything that deer eat. We have another plot out in the woods area where we're going to be throwing a bunch of seed and everything out there. So again, the idea is to attract the animals to our area so that they know that the food is here and they can keep coming back. And by growing it and everything, which is something that you can do as well, is if you have some of these vacant lots or anything and you know that deer are in the area and everything, start planting some of this seed or something so that the deer have something to eat and will be attracted to that area. Salt blocks, salt blocks are also very good. Now, again, check with your local hunting regs and everything so you don't get busted or anything like that. But, putting out salt and mineral blocks and everything. So you're taking care of your herd. And so, um, but these are things that you can do to really help you and your family if and when your pantry starts going down, and start learning these things now, start augmenting, start bringing some of this stuff into your diet now so that you're already getting used to it, you're already eating off of it, and by doing this too, you're going to see your grocery bill start going down too. So what time is it? 47 minutes. Got 10 minutes to go. Anybody have any questions? Anything like that? Anybody got questions or so forth? I am, as I said, I've got this book I'm putting together, and so if you're on my newsletter, I'm going to be giving you a special link where you guys can get this, and then I'll be adding some extra goodies to this. But you'll be getting it for, and I think I'm going to do this for like $15, and that's shipping included. But I'll add other gear and other cool guy stuff to this so that But really good book, great information, lots of pictures, and so forth. And then I may even do a special for this one too. And this is the poor man's guide to being prepared during economic collapse. And there's a lot of people out there that don't have 401ks or IRAs or anything like that. And so what I really talk about in this book is how to, be better prepared, be better, looking for things that you can put your money in and basically preserve your wealth. And basically, it's the poor man's way of preserving your wealth. And I got a huge chapter on precious metals, and then I talk a lot about collectibles and this and that. And but really good book. And again, both these are on Amazon, but I'm going to be creating special links for these for our Kilted Prepper insiders. And been adding in some cool guy gear to the orders, and you'll be getting them autographed as well.
Is that for Wednesday?
Pardon? That'll be going out on Wednesday's newsletter. So yeah. And in fact, newsletter. Hold on. Go to RaymondMhor.com, Raymond Mhor, Mhor, or the KiltedPrepper.com and sign up for my newsletter. When you land on the page, look to the upper right-hand corner and you'll see where you can sign up for free for my newsletter and get on that. I'm sending out zip files also this week. I'm going to be sending out zip files or a zip file of files that will help you if a SHTF situation takes place. This folder will be good. I kid you not. I've got some pretty cool PDFs and ebooks that I will be putting in here that when you get them, you're going, oh yeah, you got this right on. So it's some pretty good files that I'll be sharing with you this Wednesday. So, but you got to sign up for the newsletter and get it. And then when you do sign up for the newsletter, please, if it comes out on Wednesday and you haven't gotten it and you know you signed up for it, check your spam folder and make sure that if anything, what you do is drag it from the spam folder inbox, at least on Outlook. It says, do you want to make this a free email? And say yes. And then that way, all my emails will then come into your inbox and everything. But if it comes Wednesday and you haven't gotten it or anything like that, then again, check your spam. And then also on Telegram, I've got a Telegram news group. I just started this a couple months ago or something, maybe a month or so. But I love Telegram. Telegram is very privacy oriented. It's encrypted. There are no ads. They do not take content down. They don't censor or anything like that. And this is becoming almost the de facto communication messaging system for preppers, homesteaders, and patriots. And so it's a great way to share information, share files, share news things. But what I've been doing is with the news stuff, because I'm always combing the news like you and me and everything. If you're like me, you're a news junkie, you always want to stay on top of what's going on and everything. And I am finding that all the news groups and everything that I am subscribed to on Telegram, I'm getting the news a heck of a lot faster versus, the other news sources or so forth. I mean, a lot of times it's about 24 hours, sometimes even 48 hours, ahead of all the other news sources. For example, when Ohio hit, I mean, the Ohio train wreck hit, and I knew almost within minutes because they were saying this big, massive train thing with chemicals took place, and I knew it within the hour. And it was just before it never hit the news or anything before anybody was talking about it, but I knew about it. And so Telegram is a great thing. It's a free app. You don't have to pay for it. There's no ads. There's nothing the people who are doing it are really good, and they've really thought about privacy and First Amendment free speech and all that other stuff. So I'm a very big fan of Telegram. But get on there and join. You got to download it. You can download it to your phone, your tablet, or your iTablet or whatever, and then also your desktop. And what's wonderful, it syncs all up all the time, so that no matter what device you may be using, Telegram is up to date and things. So, but get on it. I'm sending out news all the time. You can go back and read some of the other news. And in fact, I just a couple days ago, or actually about a week ago, I posted a video of and this took place around the Maryland area and almost touching Washington, D.C., of the toxic cloud that was flying over the New England area. And this guy, it was just rain on his car, and he was just running his finger through it and everything. And it just had this rainbow sheen and it was just a fresh rain. Well, rain doesn't have that sort of stuff. So why is it, sort of that thing? But, we're seeing a lot of crazy stuff out there. And unless you stay ahead of the information or everything, it's hard to know what to prepare for, what to do in a time of an emergency or something like that. And so that's one of the primary reasons why I'm got that Telegram group, is to keep you guys informed. And, hopefully it'll help those. If you are in certain areas that something start happening, you'll be notified and kind of get a jump on the gun before the sheep will get the notification, and then all things go crazy. So, any questions? Yes, my dear.
Kilted Prepper wants to know, what are you going to discuss at the Prepping Expo coming up in Eastern Kentucky at the end of the month?
What I'm going to be talking about is dehydrating, and I'm writing a book right now on the weird and unusual things that you can dehydrate. I mean, everybody just thinks, and this is something I find interesting about the prepper community is that they've all got these dehydrators, but all they do is jerky, and so they don't dehydrate. I mean, you could dehydrate almost anything, and it's a lot cheaper than a freeze dryer, and you're basically getting the same effect. Now, freeze drying is lighter and everything like that, yeah, but a freeze dryer is $3,000 to $5,000. I don't have that sort of money and everything, but I've got my great Excalibur dehydrator. I love this thing. I've been using Excalibur now for 20 years. It is the best. It is a workhorse. If something breaks, you unscrew it, buy a new one, slap it on, screw it on good. It's got one little dial, on, off, and temp. That's it. So, a lot of the other dehydrators coming out today. It's just waiting for something to break. I don't like digital. I don't like electronic. I don't like metal. And we're seeing more and more of these metal or aluminum or stainless steel dehydrators. I mean, oh, wow, they're so clean. No, metal conducts heat, and that's how you dehydrate. And the problem with a lot of these metal ones is a lot of your heat is being absorbed into the metal. And so your energy is going to go up, trying to keep things at a temp. And so I'm not a fan of metal dehydrators. I'm not a fan of wire mesh trays or anything like that. This is why I just love the Excalibur. Super simple, super easy. And I believe they're going right now for about 239 or 219. They've been having a lot of sales. About 2 weeks ago, they had it on sale for like 204. And I posted that link out to my news group and everything, let people know, that was going on and so forth. So, and then I posted to Facebook and some of the other areas and everything. So, that's another thing I do with the Telegram and everything is if I see something that's like a really great deal, and because I track these things all the time, then I'm going to send it out on Telegram so that you guys can get the best bang for your buck. But I'm going to be talking about dehydrating and some of the unusual things to dehydrate and everything like that. And in fact, today I dehydrated some sauerkraut and made sauerkraut powder, and it tastes wonderful. And what's great about sauerkraut is that it's already got the salt, it's already got the tartness, and it's got some good flavor and everything. But you powder it up, put it in a little spice, shaker can and everything, and shake it over your food, and you're going to get this really nice tangy bite and everything. Be great on one of our guys said French fries. I thought that was great. It really tastes to me like if you would put them on potato chips, for example, it'd have like that salt and vinegar taste. um, but I'm doing a lot of unusual things like that a lot of people just don't think about. And so those are things I'm going to really talk to you about, how to leverage and how to really pull all the purpose out of your dehydrator and do a lot more that you can do. And then also talk about how to store it long-term storage wise. So I'm not a fan of Mylar bags because, especially with dehydrated stuff and everything, I've found using Mylar bags, they pop because dehydrated stuff kind of has sharp edges at times, and so it pierces and you lose that vacuum seal. I'm a big fan of mason jars and oxygen absorbers, and they haven't done wrong yet. And so my food stays great. I've got, in fact, beef jerky I got in there that I made over a year ago, and it's still going strong till it tastes wonderful and everything. And so a lot of my other stuff and everything. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in Kentucky. And so hopefully I will have this book finished, but I don't know if I'm going to have it finished in time for Kentucky. And so we'll see. But I'm working hard at it. It is taking a long time, and it's just coming up and writing all these recipes of stuff of what I'm doing and everything. So like the sauerkraut today, that's gonna be one of my recipes. And so, but you got to write it and do it in recipe format and stuff. So it's just a little time consuming. But that's my latest book. Is I'm calling it what? This is kind of a working title. Hints, tips, and tricks, as well bizarre recipes for your dehydrator. Using your dehydrator for its ultimate purpose. Yeah, so that's kind of my working title that I got right now. And it came to me. Me and my wife were sitting outside just jibber jabbering, and we kind of came up with that unusual title. So, but that's what's going on with that. And then I have two other talks. I'm going to be at Mountain Readiness in North Carolina, and then I'm also going to be at Survival School Boot Camp, which is probably the largest prepper event on the eastern side of the United States. Uh, Taking over an entire fairgrounds, and I think we've got something like 100 speakers or something like that. And so this is huge, and it's going to be in Ohio, and so I'm going to be speaking at that. And then I have some other speaking gigs and everything coming up in the fall and everything. But if you've got anything going on, or you know of anything going on during the summertime, let me know, and I'll be glad to contact, or at least send me information. And what I can do is contact them, because I'm always looking at places I can go speak. What?
Where is Mountain Readiness?
Mountain Readiness is going to be in North Carolina. So, mhm. But any other questions anybody has? We are sitting at 59 minutes. And so, but I really appreciate you guys coming in, and again, do me a favor, like, subscribe, and share. Ring that bell so you get notified when I post up new videos and everything. I'm really working hard at trying to do at least a live video every Monday, Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I missed yesterday because we had this hellacious storm come in, and I think you've been reading about it on the news and stuff. So yesterday was just not a good day to do a live. So, but I am going to be trying to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and so keep an eye on that. And then also, I'm going to continue these Saturday nights. Hopefully, these Saturday nights are helping you. I enjoy doing them myself. And then, if there's anything that you want me to talk about or research or anything like that, please again put it in the comments below, or contact me, or private message me. I live on Facebook, and I will definitely look into doing a show on that, and doing some research and so forth. So, you know, but hopefully these shows are being helpful. A lot of these things that I'm talking about, I don't want you guys thinking I'm just sitting here hawking stuff just to hawk it. I've been a preparedness person almost all my life, hardcore for the last 40 years, and I have bought a lot of crap. And so a lot of the things that I'm sharing with you is things I totally believe in, things that I own and use myself, and I'm just not sharing it just to make a buck. And but I want you guys to have good, solid gear and good, solid stuff. And I know that if it's working for me, odds are it's going to work for you. So there isn't anything here that I don't use. So if you see it on my channel, or you see it on something, either it's something that I am getting ready to purchase, or it's something that I already own or have owned. And so that's, I'm just, and then also, Augustin Farms, just, they have a sale going on, and I've posted that to my Telegram group. I posted it to my Facebook wall and in some of the other prepper groups and everything like that. But Augustin Farms has a 72-hour grab and go meal kit, and it's an individual person grab and go, but they're $13 and some odd cents, I forget. But if you go to my Facebook wall, you'll see it and things. But I'll put it in the links later in the description. In fact, all these links I'll add to the description later. But get on these. These are a great price. And again, this is a 72-hour grab and go bag, and it's great for your bug out bag. If you got a bug out bag, it's great for your get home bag. I mean, it's great to maybe keep some of these in the car, or keep some of these at the office or something. You never know when you're going to need some food in an emergency situation. And the thing that I love about, Augustin Farms, super easy, add water, stir, eat. Whereas there's several companies out there like Mountain House. Mountain House makes really good stuff, but Mountain House primarily does camping food. And the negative with camping food is step specific. And so you have a lot of steps to prepare your food, where survival food is basically pour it in a can, or pour it in a bowl, or pour it wherever, add water, stir, and eat. And if you can heat it up, that's even better. But survival food and camping food are two different things. Yeah, camping food, very step intensive. Survival food, one thing, water. and you're good to go. But I love August Farms, and we eat it all the time. I always add some sort of survival food or something to our cooking in almost every meal that we do and things. But Thrive and August Farms are the two go-to. Now, interesting thing is My Patriot has a sale right now, also for survival, a 72-hour survival kit. And what I did is I ordered their 72-hour survival kit. You just buy one, get two free, so you're getting three of them for the price of one. And what I want to do is a side-by-side comparison, August and Farm versus My Patriot. And then also what I'm going to be doing is showing you how to kick up some of these foods, take it up to the next level, and really make these delicious meals. Because I enjoy cooking, I've been cooking all my life, and there's a lot of things that you can do to some of these meals that will really kick it up and really make it taste good. And then these are things or skills that you're going to need to know, so that if we're in an SHTF situation and we are living off some of this food and everything, you need to learn how to augment and everything. Just don't pour that stuff in the pan and add water and eat. You're going to start getting tired of that, and so you want to augment it with maybe extra protein or some maybe extra vegetables or this or that or whatever, extra flavoring and everything, or spices and such. So but look for those videos coming here soon. I'm going to be doing a taste test of My Patriot and let you know what I think about it. I have my suspicions, and so I've heard a lot of negative about My Patriot, but I've got my suspicions. I am going to try to keep an open mind about it, but I'm kind of holding my ideas or holding my thoughts on My Patriot. But August Farms, I can totally speak with authority. Their food is great. And in fact, their black bean burger mix was recently on sale, might still be on sale. It's like 12 something a can. Pick it up. Great stuff. And what's really good, and it's not, I'm talking here's an augmentation, is you can add hamburger to it. And so you cook it up, you add your hamburger, and you don't have to really add water, and depending on the fat content of your hamburger and everything, you only have to add a little bit, but you can mix it together. You can make patties, or you can just make it as a whole complete burger sort of dish that you can put over noodles, put over rice, and so forth. But by adding hamburger or protein to the black burger bean mix is a really great idea.
I have a
So
question for you.
yeah.
John Campbell would like to know, have you considered doing a chat about water provision in the wild?
That's a great one, John. No, I haven't, because no one's asked me to, but I'll be glad to. I do have a lot of solutions on that. Just to give you a quickie, I am not a fan of the survival straws, and this is just me talking tactically. To use those, you got to get on your belly and drink. Whereas I really like some of these hand pumps. I really love the Sport Berkey bottle, and fill it up. It's got the filter in, prime it, and you can drink right from it. I've in fact, if you go to my YouTube, yeah, if you're at my YouTube channel, look at something, or you'll see a picture of me sitting around this skanky pool. And in that one, I actually use a Sport Berkey bottle, and that pool was skanky, full of algae. It's where the dogs and chickens, would hang out, and everything. My dog used to actually climb in it and lay in it and everything. But I take a big old thing and I drink from it. But probably the best water solution out in the field is the Sport Berkey bottle. They run something about, I want to say about $40, $45. If you have a local Mormon cannery around you, and every state has a Mormon cannery or a Mormon pantry, and they sell them cheaper. And so, but you can pick them up. But I totally believe in the Sport Berkey bottle.
Amazon has Excalibur on right now for $187.75.
Ooh, really? Oh my goodness. I need to get that link and share it out there. That's a great jump on that price. In fact, let me see if I can find that real quickly here. So Amazon, that's a fabulous price. Excalibur.
3900B dehydrator.
3900 EC.
as in boy.
Okay, Excalibur, copy. Okay, 3900B. Here you go. Let me.
187.75.
Yep, 187.75. So let me find it here. So there's the link. That's for the Excalibur, and that's a great price, folks. It really is. 187. This is fast drying 600 watt, 9 trays, black. And so this is really good price, 187. Now, it being 600 watts, and I try to find things in the 400 to 600 watt arena, because the reason is that I can run it off of my solar generator too. And so my grain mill, I can run off of my solar generator. My Excalibur, I can run off of my solar generator. And so any appliances that I do get, I do try to keep it underneath that wattage so that I can run it off of my solar generator and things. So, but yeah, if you're gonna snag it with my link so that I make a pittance here. And that's what gets me these cool microphones and things like that. So use my link, please. And if you do use any of my links and everything, make sure that you do not use the buy now, because for some reason, if you hit the buy now, I don't make any affiliate money, and you're not going to get the money. Is from the companies. It's not, you don't pay for it or anything like that. So. But yeah, it's a way that I bring in some extra money so I can buy more gear and everything for the shows and for my website and everything like that. But that's everything that I can think of. Anybody have any other questions or any other things that they can like to ask or anything like that? So let's see. I just want to thank everybody. I see Electronic Survival. I see Michael Eversberg, John Campbell. Let's see here. Electronic Survival, John Campbell, KY Prepper, Cynthia Mhor, Thomas Dassel, and but all of you. And if I don't say your name or anything, I apologize. I'm kind of scrolling up and seeing names and everything, but I do appreciate you for coming and joining and hanging out with me for this time. And again, if there's any topics or anything that you want me to talk about, please by all means contact me, email me, Facebook me, whatever. And my email is ray@raymondmhor.com, ray@raymondmhor, MHOR.com. And I'll be glad to. I work really hard at answering my emails. So where some folks out there, they just let you hang for weeks and everything, I really try to answer your email within 24 hours, if not sooner. So, but education is big for me, and I want to make sure that I create more allies than enemies, and that's why I do what I do. So, but the more preppers that we got out there, the better. And so that's everything. We have any more questions at all? Anything, sweetie?
Cynthia, I don't see the link. Michael Eversberg. I don't know which one.
Here, hold on. There.
There you go.
But yeah, that's the one for 184, 187.75. So great price. In fact, I'll be posting it to my Facebook wall here soon and everything as soon as we get off. But let's see here. So join us again next week. And again, I'm going to be trying to put out videos on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So keep an eye out for those. And then every Saturday, we're going to be here at 6 p.m. Eastern, same bat time, same bat channel, and doing these 1 hour shows. And if they go a little bit over, that's fine. I just want to make sure I get all your questions answered and get your comments and everything going and stuff. So, but do me a favor right now, give me a thumbs up and hit that thumbs, like, subscribe, and share, and ring that little bell. And so that is everything, folks. I'm Raymond Mhor. My wife Cynthia is sitting over there, doing all your comments and everything. We really appreciate you hanging out with us. It's been a lot of fun. I love talking about these things. I love, just doing it. And so, we'll see you. Raymond Mhor, Cynthia Mhor. Goodbye, God bless, and Kilt on.